During the day, flies circled the room with feverish buzzing, and at night the mosquitoes came singing in one's ears. Summer days were hot and sticky, the nights breathless. Rusty covered his body in citronella oil, which had been given to him by Somi's mother. Its smell, while pleasant to his own senses, was repugnant to mosquitoes. When Rusty rubbed the oil on his limbs, he noticed the change in his physique. He had lost his puppy fat, and there was more muscle to his body. His complexion was a healthier color, and his pimples had almost disappeared. Nearly everyone had advised him about his pimples. "Drink dahi," said Somi's mother. "Don't eat fat, eat carrots," said Somi. "Plenty of fruit, mangoes," said Kishen. "Not at all, oranges. See a doctor," said Meena. "Have a whiskey," said Kapoor. But the pimples disappeared without any of these remedies, and Rusty put it down to his falling in love. The bougainvillea creeper had advanced further into the room and was now in flower, and watching Rusty oil himself was the bald mynah bird. It had been in so many fights that the feather on its head never got a chance to grow. Suri entered the room without warning and, wiping his spectacles on the bedsheet, said, "I have written an essay, Mr. Rusty, for which I am going to be marked in school. Correct it, if you please." "Let me finish with this oil. It would be cheating, you know." "No, it won't. It has to be corrected sometime, so you will save the master some trouble. Anyway, I'm leaving this rotten school soon. I'm going to Mussoorie." "To the same place as Ranbir? He'll be glad to see you." Suri handed Rusty the copybook. On the cover was a pencil sketch of a rather overdeveloped nude. "Don't tell me this is your school book," exclaimed Rusty. "No, only rough work." "You drew the picture?" "Of course. Don't you like it?" "Did you copy it or imagine it, or did someone pose for you?" Suri winked. "Someone posed." "You're a liar and a pig." "Oh, look who's talking. You're not such a saint yourself, Mr. Rusty." "Just what do you mean?" said Rusty, getting between Suri and the door. "I mean, how is Mrs. Kapoor, eh?" "She's fine." "You get on well with her, huh?" "We get on fine." "Like at the picnic?" Suri rubbed his hands together and smiled beatifically. Rusty was momentarily alarmed. "What do you mean, the picnic?" "What did you do together, Mr. Rusty, you and Mrs. Kapoor? What happened in the bushes?" Rusty leaned against the wall and returned Suri's smile and said, "I'll tell you what we did, my friend. There's nothing to hide between friends, is there? Well, Mrs. Kapoor and I spent all our time making love. We did nothing but love each other all the time, and Mr. Kapoor only 100 yards away, and you know, in the next bush. Now, what else do you want to know?" Suri's smile was fixed. "What if I tell Mr. Kapoor?" "You won't tell him," said Rusty. "Why not?" "Because you are the last person he'll believe, and you'll probably get a kick in the pants for the trouble." Suri's smile had gone. "Cheer up," said Rusty. "What about the essay? Do you want me to correct it?" That afternoon, the old car stood beneath the banana trees with an impatient driver tooting on the horn. The dicky and bumpers were piled high with tin trunks and bedding rolls, as though the Kapoors were going away for a lifetime. Meena wasn't going to let Kapoor drive her all the way to Delhi and had taken on a professional instead. Kapoor sat on the steps of the house wearing his green dressing gown and making a throaty noise similar to that of the motor horn. "The devil!" he exclaimed, gesticulating towards Meena, who was bustling about indoors. "The devil of a wife is taking me to Delhi. Ha! The car will never get there." "Oh yes, it will," said Meena, thrusting her head out of the window. "And it will get there with you in it, whether or not you shave and dress, so you might as well take a seat from now." Rusty went into the house and found Meena locking rooms. She was looking a little tired and irritable. "You're going sooner than I expected," said Rusty. "Has Kishen got the money?" "No, you must keep it. I'll give it to you in 5 rupee notes." Wait a minute. He'll have to sleep with you. I'm locking the house." She opened a drawer and, taking out an envelope, gave it to Rusty. "The money," she said. Rusty picked up a small suitcase and followed Meena outside to the car. He waited until she was seated before handing her the case, and when he did, their hands touched. She laced her fingers with his and gave him a quick smile and squeezed his fingers. From the front seat, Kapoor beckoned Rusty. He grasped the boy's hand and slipped a key into it. "My friend," he whispered, "these are the keys of the back door. In the kitchen you will find 6 bottles of whiskey. Keep them safe until our return." Rusty shook Kapoor's hand, the hand of the man he laughed at, but whom he could not help loving as well. In the confusion, Kishen had gone almost unnoticed, but he was there all the time, and now he suffered a light kiss from his mother and a heavy one from his father. The car belched and, after narrowly missing a banana tree, rattled down the gravel path, bounced over a ditch, and disappeared in a cloud of dust. Kishen and Rusty were flapping their handkerchiefs for all they were worth. Kishen was not a bit sorry that his parents had gone away, but Rusty felt like crying. He was conscious now of a sense of responsibility, which was a thing he did not like having, and of a sense of loss. But the depression was only momentary. "Hey," said Kishen, "do you see what I see?" "I can see a lot of things that you can see, so what do you mean?" "The clothes. Mummy's washing. It is all on the rose bushes." Meena had left without collecting her washing, which, as always, had been left to dry on the rose bushes. Mr. Kapoor's underwear spread itself over an entire bush, and another tree was decorated with bodices and blouses of all colors. Rusty said, "Perhaps she means them to dry by the time she comes back." He began to laugh with Kishen, so it was a good thing. Meena's forgetfulness, it softened the pain of parting. "What if we hadn't noticed?" chuckled Kishen. "They would have been stolen." "Then we must reward ourselves. What about the chaat shop pie?" At the risk of making himself unpopular, Rusty faced Kishen and, with a determination, said, "No chaat shop. We have got 70 rupees to last a month, and I'm not going to write for more once this finishes. We are having our meals with Somi. So bhai, no chaat shop." "You were a swine, Rusty." "And the same to you." In this endearing mood, they collected the clothes from the rose bushes and marched upstairs to the room on the roof. There was only one bed, and Kishen was a selfish sleeper. Twice during the night, Rusty found himself on the floor. Eventually, he sat in the chair with his feet on the table and stared out of the window at the black night. Even if he had been comfortable, he would not have slept. He felt terribly lovesick. He wanted to write a poem, but it was too dark to write. He wanted to write a letter, but she hadn't been away a day. He wanted to run away with Meena, into the hills, into the forests, where no one could find them, and he wanted to be with her forever and never grow old. Neither of them must ever grow old.